When my son was in third grade, he came home and he was exhausted after every day at school. We had really a tough time getting him to do his homework, and it wasn't just your basic having a tough time getting your third grader to do homework. It was excruciating for him and for us. And then one night he came home and he was laying on his bed, and he said that he didn't want to live anymore. And that was like a cold splash of water in my face. We immediately took him to go see somebody, a psychiatrist or psychologist. The psychologist realized that he was a normal kid. She said that he didn't have any problems and that it might be a learning disability, and that may be the reason why we were having trouble with him, especially in the evenings at the end of the day. So we took him to get tested, and we were shocked to hear that he had dyslexia. It wasn't because we had discounted dyslexia, we just didn't even think about it. We were the parents that read to him every night. He read books to us, and it floored us to think that there was a problem with his reading. But it's true, and that is the reason why he was so worn out at the end of every day, is because he was working 10 times harder than everybody else in the classroom, everybody else that was around him. That's the reason why he had low self-esteem. And he put up such a good face all the way during school. By the time he came home, he was just completely worn out. It's important to get a diagnosis of these issues so you can deal with those issues, and to get what's called an IEP, which is an individualized education plan for the child, so that the schools know what to do, and so that we can help serve that child and those children.
I am concerned about dyslexia because I was a special ed teacher for 21 years. When I began my career, I didn't know how to teach these children, and I feel guilty today for all of the children that I had in my classroom that I didn't help. But I learned through a friend about Orton-Gillingham strategies, and when I used those strategies with my children, they learned to read. I began my career at Edwards, and after using Orton-Gillingham, my students told me to get rid of all the other stuff I was doing, that this was what helped them. So I used it with all of my students at Edwards, and after 2 years, the special ed teacher from Daniel contacted me and said, "What are you doing different? Your students the students that you send me are passing the exit exam the first time that they take it, and talking about going to college. I've never had students like this." And Orton-Gillingham just works for these students. And we need a school where these children will be able to get that kind of instruction. I found it frustrating in the public schools using Orton-Gillingham, even when I knew how to teach these children, because the schools would give me too many students to teach at one time. I couldn't get them into groups according to ability to be able to teach them at my best because of scheduling problems. I had to take them when they were able to come or by their grade level. I think a charter school will be able to meet the needs of these dyslexic children, and they'll be able to be taught in groups like they need to be taught to meet their needs, and we'll be able to have an instruction that will work for them.
Lakes and Bridges Charter School is an opportunity for us to use everything we've learned in our many, many years of teaching and of all the professional development we've had to put the programs and strategies together so that these children will have a great chance of being the students that their intelligence would allow them to be.
Yeah, we want every child to be able to reach their potential, to achieve in accordance with their intelligence. Dyslexic children are normally average to above average intelligence, and in school they look around and they think, why am I not doing as well as my friend? Oftentimes they will become behavior problems just to take the attention off of them. So we don't want any child to have to do that. We want them to flourish in the environment and become as successful as they possibly can be.
When I was in politics, I used to tell people I was a 70-year-old PhD that had never learned to read. My poor reading ability has been a detriment throughout my professional career. And I know that the public schools simply aren't meeting the needs of dyslexic children. And that's not a knock against the teachers of the public schools. It's simply they don't have the time and to give the individual attention that's needed.
We are not taking students away or money away from the public schools. No money is going to be taken out of local schools to fund this school. There are children that are out there that don't have the resources that we did, that need to know, and parents need to know your child is not just lazy. Your child is not just not wanting to do the homework. There may be an underlying issue there that needs to be dealt with. October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, which is one of the reasons why we're going out now, and we really do appreciate the support of Anderson County and Anderson County Council for proclaiming October as Dyslexia Awareness Month in Anderson County. And we're going to continue to go out there and spread the word so that kids get treated, that kids get the resources that they need, and the kids get tested for these disabilities.
Anderson County supports the efforts of Lakes and Bridges Charter School in bolstering workforce development by providing the children of Anderson County who have dyslexia and reading difficulties with no-cost public education. Proclaimed in this meeting duly assembled this 3rd day of October 2017. May I put that in formal information?
That's motion, Ms. Wilson, second, Mr. Allen. Any further discussion? Appreciate what all y'all do. If anybody can't give learning, let us know. All in favor of the motion, go ahead.
For more information about Lakes and Bridges Charter School, you can visit our website, which is lakesandbridges.org, and contact us that way. Look us up on Facebook, look us up on Instagram or Twitter. You can find us easily, and it has information about how to enroll, how to get your child tested for dyslexia, and what you need to do in order to help your child be a successful reader and be a successful person.